Good afternoon and welcome to NWCR's Removing the Liberal Blindfold for this Thursday, the 7th day of January in the year of our Lord 2021. Now, I did this already, and I did it last night just before I went to bed, but so much has gone on since then that I had to redo it because a lot of the things I'm going to talk about today just weren't even out there yet. Like the idea that the person who was killed in Washington yesterday by a gunshot was actually a Trump supporter. And so it comes down to it could have been Antifa because they were involved in this. But like I said, good afternoon and welcome to NWCR's Removing the Liberal Blindfold. It is pretty much the way the demona-rats wanted it, but they are not going to be getting what they wanted. The revolution of the people has started, and rightly so, and I will address this through giving of the facts. I just hope that the American people can take what is going to be coming. The left-wing news media just didn't poison the information environment with their essentially negative coverage of President Trump going into the 2020 election. They also refused to give airtime to important arguments of the Republican campaign, both pro-Trump and anti-Biden, which meant millions of voters cast their ballots knowing only what the media permitted them to know about the candidates. To measure the true effect of the media's censorship on the election, the Media Research Center asked the polling company to survey 1,750 Biden voters in 7 swing states, Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, 6 of which, all but North Carolina, were called for Biden. Survey details were given out. We tested these voters' knowledge of 8 news stories. All important topics that our ongoing analysis had shown the liberal news media had failed to cover properly. We found that a huge majority, 82% of Biden voters, were unaware of at least one of 3 of these key items, with 5% saying they were unaware of all 8 of the issues that we tested. This lack of information proved critical. One of every 6 Biden voters were surveyed, 17%, said they would have abandoned the Democratic candidate had they known the facts about one or more of these news stories. A shift of this magnitude would have changed the outcome in all 6 of the swing states won by Biden, and Donald Trump would have comfortably won a second term as president. Now here's what we found. Burying Biden's bad news. The media censorship of Biden's scandals had the strongest impact of this year's election. According to our survey, more than 1/3 of Biden's voters, 35.4%, were unaware of the serious allegations brought against the Democratic nominee by Tara Reade, a former staffer who said Biden sexually assaulted her in the 1990s. If they had known about Tara Reade's sexual assault allegations, 8.9% told us they would have changed their vote, either switching to Trump or a third-party candidate, not voting for any presidential candidate, or not voting at all. By itself, this would have flipped all 6 states of the swing states won by Biden, Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, giving the president a win with 311 electoral college votes. Even more Biden voters, 45.1%, said they were unaware of the financial scandal enveloping Biden and his son. Hunter, a story infamously censored by Twitter and Facebook, as well as ignored by the liberal media. According to our poll, full awareness of the Hunter Biden scandal would have led to 9.4% of Biden voters to abandon the Democratic candidate, flipping all 6 of the swing states he won to Trump, giving Trump, the president, 311 electoral votes. The ticket's left-wing ideology was another issue barely mentioned by the national press. A GOV track analysis found Biden's running mate, California Senator Kamala Harris, had the most left-wing record of any senator in 2019, even more than the self-described socialist Bernie Sanders. Our poll found that 25.3% of Biden voters said they didn't know about Senator Harris's left-wing ideology. If voters had the complete story, it would have led to a 4.1% of Biden voters to change their vote, flipping Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin to Trump. The result would have been a Trump victory with 295 Electoral College votes. The next one, hiding Trump's successes. The liberal media also prevented many Biden voters from learning about record-breaking positive economic news in the months leading up to the election. The 5 pre-election job reports from June 5th to October 2nd showed a record 11,161,000 jobs were created in the extraordinary snapback from the pandemic recession. Yet a large number of Biden voters, 39.4%, said they didn't know about this achievement. If they had, 5.4% said they would have changed their vote. This would have swung Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin to Trump, who would have won 295 electoral votes. On October 29th, the government reported a huge jump in economic growth, 33.1% on an annual basis, double the previous record. Yet nearly half of Biden voters, 49%, said they had no idea about this record-breaking achievement. Armed with that information, 5.6% said they would have changed their vote, swinging Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, and a total of 295 electoral votes to Trump. We saw the same effect when it came to foreign policy. The president and his team made history by brokering peace agreements with Israel and several of her Arab neighbors. One reason Trump received 3 nominations for the Nobel Peace Prize. Yet 43.5% of Biden voters had no idea about these historic agreements. The information would have led 5% of overall Biden voters to change their vote, putting Trump in front of in Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin for a total of 295 electoral votes. Energy independence was another Trump success. The president took action to start long-stalled pipeline projects and expand drilling offshore and in the Arctic, and it paid off, with America becoming the net exporter for oil for the first time in September of 2019. More than half, 50.5% of Biden voters said they did not know about this important accomplishment either. If the information was known by all, 5.8% of Biden voters said they would have changed how they voted. This would have changed the outcome in Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, putting Trump in front with electoral votes of 295. One important issue that did get a lot of coverage in 2020, the coronavirus pandemic. But what made the news every night was criticism of the president and his administration. Lost in the blistering barrage of bad news were successes such as Operation Warp Speed, which even before the election was well on track to deliver 300 million doses of a safe vaccine as soon as next year. Our poll found that 36.1% of Biden voters said they did not know about the administration's key role in promoting vaccine research through Operation Warp Speed. If they had, 5.3% told us they would have abandoned Biden, flipping Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, giving the president 295 electoral votes. And putting it all together, looking at all 8 of these issues together, our poll found that a total of 17% of Biden's voters told us they would have changed their vote if they had been aware of one or more of these important stories. This would have moved every one of the swing states into Trump's column, some by a huge margin. The president would have trounced Biden in the Electoral College 311 to 227. In Pennsylvania, 15% of Biden voters said they would have defected. Using the reported vote totals as of noon of November 19th, this would have reduced his total by 518,204 votes, flipping the state to Trump. In Michigan, the percentage that would have left Biden was 14%, deducting 392,966 from his tally and flipping that state too. In Georgia, 15% of Biden's voters say they would have defected based on full information, taking 370,838 votes out of his column and putting Trump comfortably ahead. In Arizona, 21% said they would have changed their vote, deducting 351,150 from Biden's column and putting Trump in front there too. In Wisconsin, Biden would have lost 13% of his voters, taking away 211,987 from his column. In Nevada, the percentage of those who would have left Biden was 18%, or 126,627 voters. Such a shift would have put both of those states in Trump's column too. In the final state that was polled, North Carolina, 21% of Biden's voters say they would have changed their minds, deducting 563,703 votes from his total and significantly bolstering Trump's margin of victory in that state. It's important to note that not all of these voters would have switched to President Trump, of course, although about 6% of Biden's voters say that it's exactly what they would have done. By choosing to abandon Biden, these voters would have handed all 6 of these states and a second term to the president, if the news media had properly informed them about the two candidates. The most basic principle of our electoral system is that our leaders are chosen by people themselves. But if the people are given systematically one-sided information with crucial facts omitted, then the real power to choose has been stolen from them. This unique study of the media and voters suggests that's exactly what happened in 2020. And now to remove the liberal blindfold here, folks. From the media hiding all the bad things that Biden has been and is doing, to hiding all the good things that Trump did, the last of which happened on December 31st when the 450th mile of the wall was built. That in itself was a Herculean effort, in the fact that at the beginning of the year of 2020, while Trump was fighting all the false things the media was saying and the left was saying, there was only 100 miles built. This nation is in deep trouble, and what is coming you really don't want to know, but this scam was allowed and we may have to own it now. The next 4 years will be more like the Democrats' version of Hitler's Germany, and the American people will be nothing more than the Jews to them. Biden is already talking of raising all of our taxes come the first day he is in office. He wants to get rid of everything that Trump did good for America over his last 4 years, and if the people don't know about it, he'll be able to do it. Telling all the American people all the things they thought Trump had done wrong, and no facts presented, only accusations, while not reporting anything of the good, and at the same time not reporting any of the bad that Hunter Biden did, while keeping Joe out of it all. When the facts would have been brought out, Joe Biden was involved in all of it. But the American people didn't know about any of it because the truth was kept out of all the news stories by the lamestream lying liberal media. If they had reported the truth like they should have, Biden would now be probably in trouble for his indiscretions instead of heading to the White House, and Trump would have been reelected for a second term. But the media was negligent in everything they did, and they were part and parcel of the cheating that stole this election. Thank you all for listening and watching. I will be back tomorrow with NWCR's radio show on Blog Talk Radio, with the voice of reason in this increasingly unreasonable world from behind the silver microphone of freedom, brought to you through Conservative Nation Media, the place where America always wins. Last night, we lost a lot of our freedoms that we had the other day. While some of us are still fighting, the rest are just relaxing, thinking that our next years are going to be great. Well, I warn you now, they will not be, and I have chronicled all of it here on NWCR Radio and NWCR's Removing the Liberal Blindfold over the last year, along with other shows on CNN. And you people who voted for Biden thinks that he will remember you when he acts as president? He will throw you all under the bus just like he will America. Mark my words, America needs leaders to make sure that we will not be ruled. But right now, that is kind of a moot point since our government voted us to be ruled, and the next 4 years are going to be people realizing that they voted the wrong way. God bless you all, and we'll see you all again tomorrow on my show and on Monday with the next Removing the Liberal Blindfold episode. God bless you all.